CDC is reporting that more Americans are tying the knot and staying together since the COVID pandemic began. The statistics show marriages had been declining over the past 2 decades. And then check that out. You see this jump from 5.1 per 1,000 people in 2020 to 6.2 by 2022. That's a total of more than 2 million marriages that year, marking the first time the U.S. hit the 2 million mark since 2019. And take a look at the divorce rate. It was already on the decline. And in 2022, the rate was just 2.4 per 1,000 people, and it continues going down. So what's behind these trends? Let's talk about this now with a psychotherapist, Dr. Robi Ludwig, joining us again here. Okay, let's talk first about this increase in the number of marriages, because the COVID pandemic halted most weddings. So, is that maybe why marriage rates saw that bounce?
It certainly could be, but also post-pandemic, I think what we saw was a change in value system. And we really looked at the people in our lives and what we wanted for ourselves. For those who are living with companions during COVID, in some cases, it deepened their relationship and they wanted to show commitment of marriage as a result of that deepened connection. And I think also there were people who were lonely and really valued what intimacy and emotional intimacy feels like and wanted to create that for their lives.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Anything else that you think may be causing the increase in marriages?
Well, over the last few decades, too, there's been an increase in mental health and mental well-being. And it really gave people an opportunity to look at themselves and what they wanted in their lives and what they wanted from marriage. So as a result of having that opportunity to look at what kind of partner they want, what kind of character they're looking for in a partnership, and the flexibility of roles and being able to communicate with another person about what you want and what's important to you also allowed an increase in marriage and the desire for marriage. We do live in a coupled, catered world. So our culture certainly celebrates marriage and happy couples. And it's nice to have that feeling of being seen and that you matter to someone. And I think with the result of all these apps and we realize more is not necessarily more. And when people find a valuable person or partnership, they want to make that commitment and enjoy it together.
So then, Dr. Robi, what about the decline in divorces? What are you seeing there?
Two, people are better able to communicate with partners. They're not as willing to just go towards divorce. They want to work through some of their issues and come out the other side. I think there's an appreciation of commitment, and that with a lifetime commitment, there will be issues that come up, but it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. And I don't think anyone wants to be alone or have that sense of loneliness. So there is a reevaluation of the person that you're with and a desire to pursue that hopefulness in turning a partnership into something that is rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah, and really quickly before I let you go, your advice for couples who are looking for that happily ever after?
It's really a combination of using your head and your heart when looking for a partnership. And it's one of the most important decisions you will make in your life. It affects everything. So to take your time, look for a person's character, know yourself, and then I think marriage is a wonderful institution. So I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Dr. Robi Ludwig, thank you so much for being with us to talk about these trends we're seeing.